Hey everyone, this is Chris Allman, president of Sanctuary. Welcome back to the Academy, where you get the tools, tips, and advice you need to grow your business. Today on the Academy, I wanted to talk briefly about the principles of inbound marketing that I personally think summarize why inbound conceptually is a game-changing strategy to grow your business. Unlike traditional marketing and sales techniques, which can rely on interruptive tactics and one-way communication with people who are generally not interested in what you're selling, inbound is an end-to-end approach to revenue growth that seeks to align with the way modern consumers navigate their purchasing decisions and connects with them where they are within their own personal buyer's journey. Ready to hear more? Let's jump into it. If I had to strip it down, I would say that inbound is a methodology that creates revenue. Inbound provides the value and support that potential and current customers crave by offering relevant, informative, and engaging content and experiences that are tailored to solve their unique problems. The ultimate goal is to build trust and strong relationships, not to just sell more at all costs. For me, this is inbound in a nutshell. But there is a lot more to it. If you've been a believer in traditional marketing and sales tactics and best practices to this point, this summary of what I'm about to talk about may cause you to roll your eyes. But stick with me and hear me out. Traditional techniques can work. If you've been successful to this point, then feel free to stick with what works and move on. But in my opinion, inbound has the potential to take things to the next level instead of just settling for the status quo. Inbound as an end-to-end approach is a game changer because it allows businesses to connect with their target audience at every touch point in their journey throughout the buying cycle, instead of just focusing on creating new sales through traditional advertising and sales-driven methods. By providing personalized content and experiences that address your customers' initial and ongoing needs, you have an opportunity to guide them from initial awareness to purchase, but then help to resell, upsell, and cross-sell as well as your relationship strengthens and evolves over time. By understanding and effectively serving customers throughout the entire buyer's journey through inbound best practices and tactics, businesses can build meaningful relationships, create a lot more revenue, and foster long-term customer loyalty, ultimately achieving sustainable growth in the digital era. To achieve success, inbound adopts the attract, engage, delight framework across the entire buyer's journey. Instead of running ads that nobody wants to see or spending time calling and connecting with people who are never going to be interested in what you're selling, or just waiting around to passively offer customer service, inbound seeks to actively and continually engage with customers who have needs and problems that you are ideally positioned to solve. By proactively putting the needs of the customer at the center of everything you do and providing great value at every touch point, businesses can foster stronger relationships, gain a competitive edge, and achieve long-term success in the ever-evolving digital landscape. One thing to note before we continue, I believe that the Attract, Engage, Delight framework can be expanded slightly to explain some of the nuances around why inbound is so powerful. And that's why I've landed on these 5 principles that should provide a solid overview. But it should be said that I could easily expand this to 50 principles and write an entire book. My goal here is to provide a broad, conceptual overview, not to tell you everything that goes into effectively embracing inbound. For that, you'll need to subscribe and explore more episodes in the future. So with that said, let's get started and move beyond the conceptual talk and dive into the main principles, starting with the first principle, attract. The attract phase of inbound is focused on capturing the attention of your target audience. These are the people who are ideal and actively interested in your solutions. You'll utilize various channels and tactics that ideally lead to valuable, relevant, and educational content and experiences that solve their problems and address their needs. This is the start of the all-important relationship that everything else is built upon. It's important to note, inbound is primarily a digital approach, but don't think that a real human touch is no longer needed. In fact, it's the complete opposite, as I'll explain soon. Inbound is also a marketing-driven approach to doing business, where your marketing team leads a coordinated effort across all functions of your business instead of a siloed approach with sales being responsible for revenue in a traditional sales-driven organization. We'll discuss this further as well. Attraction can begin with a time-tested tactic, advertising. Currently, the most popular way to advertise online is through pay-per-click ads on Google. But that's only one way to get the job done. Attraction is about meeting the customer where they are in their journey and allowing them to engage in the way they want to engage. Advertising is a very effective tactic, but it's only one tactic, and pay-per-click ads on Google are only one way to attract customers online. Just to mention a few additional ways, you can also attract customers by investing in organic search engine optimization, as well as written content, robust landing pages, social media, videos, podcasts, webinars, email tactics, and much more. The takeaway here is that your goal is to attract and approach your target audience in a coordinated effort on multiple fronts and do it on their terms. These tactics and activities create the necessary awareness that leads your customers to consider moving to the next step in their journey in a way that's comfortable for them. Part 2, convert. As I mentioned, ideally you're attracting customers who are actively looking for solutions and are ideally interested in what you offer. But that doesn't mean that your job is going to be super easy. You still need to get them to take the next step, and that's where inbound really shines by offering valuable resources or incentives that engage and convert prospects into actual leads. When we talk about attracting, engaging, and delighting, actually converting customers is a tangible step towards properly engaging them and meeting them where they are within their personal buyer's journey. When we talk about creating valuable content and experiences, this is where the rubber meets the road. The convert phase could simply involve providing a clear way to call and make the experience seamless. This part is blatantly obvious, but this is not the norm these days. Customers are researching online. They're learning, educating themselves on the options, comparing different companies, and generally just exploring. Your job is to pull them in before they leave and convert them to a lead that begins a relationship. They're rarely going to just pick up the phone. If you don't have an easy way for them to connect in some small way and explore in the future, that customer might actually be gone forever. Relationships are a key aspect of inbound, and the convert phase is where it all really begins, and it usually starts small. You'll integrate contact forms, but like phone calls, customers won't always fill out a contact form without a good reason. Making that all-important first connection can happen in many different ways, and it's important to give customers options. Some basic options might include online meeting scheduling, live or AI chat, landing pages with a wide variety of free but gated content, and clear calls to action that compel people to subscribe in some way. Sometimes you just need to simply ask, provide some value, and make it an easy choice. Converting someone might simply mean submitting a form to download an ebook or white paper. It can mean signing up for a regular newsletter or connecting with the organization on social media. They might agree to provide an email address to sign up for a free webinar, or they might subscribe to your podcast or your YouTube channel to learn more over time. Inbound can be a slow burn approach that takes time, but once you've connected to a customer, you've begun a basic relationship that can be nurtured over time. This small connection is a game changer. So many relationships never begin, and therefore revenue is lost because there is no easy way to connect and convert. Part 3, nurture. Inbound isn't about traditional sales techniques that aggressively push people to immediately buy. Modern consumers do not tolerate this approach. Many people don't even like to engage directly with a salesperson, even if they have a need. Consumers are empowered by choice and data, and they'll quickly move on if pressure is applied. Think of it like this. If you want to get married, will you ask the person to marry you right there during dinner on the first date? Of course not. You have to build a relationship by getting to know the other person. You're going to gradually build trust. You're going to determine if you even like the person and then continually explore to see if you're an ideal fit. You're going to definitely weigh all your options along the way. You're going to slowly build a relationship where each person slowly feels comfortable about moving to the next phase. This metaphor connects to the convert phase because you have to connect and ask for the first date, but it also summarizes the nurture phase. Nobody is going to get married after one date. Inbound is not about immediately selling and asking someone to marry you on the first date. It's about taking the necessary time to slowly build a relationship that will not only lead you to marriage, but will hopefully ensure that you make it to your 25th wedding anniversary. It's about committing and investing in the long-term value that comes from nurturing and building a strong relationship between customer and company. Your job is to have a strategy to nurture that lead in every way possible and strengthen the relationship. Once again, it's about creating valuable digital content and experiences that move the relationship along. But this is the point where you can also use a real human touch. Real people connecting over real, unique, personal conversations is key. Maybe this happens over email or even the phone. Maybe it actually happens in person. As with the convert phase, there are many different ways to come at this. Again, everyone is different, so you need to ideally provide a multi-pronged approach that provides options. Really, the key is in having a personalized approach, and at the end of the day, just being human. One customer may actually respond by having phone conversations or meeting in person to talk it out, while another customer might just want to receive emails. Another customer might want to dive deep and explore all your video content, and the next customer might take a slightly more active approach and want to attend a series of educational webinars. Some people like to read and download an ebook. Others like to listen, and that's why podcasts have become so popular. Whatever it is, inbound is about providing customers a choice that moves them down a path that educates them about their options and ultimately nurtures them towards a metaphorical marriage built on trust. Again, customers are empowered these days. They're in control. When they're ready and comfortable, they'll move to the next phase when they're ready. It's not your job to sell them until they're ready. With inbound, it's your job to connect with them, always be there to support them, and educate and nurture them until the time is right for them to buy. Part 4, close. Finally, we're talking about making a sale, right? But not so fast. When it comes down to it, this is all about making more sales, so let's not kid ourselves. But with inbound, it's never your goal to directly sell someone and pressure them into committing. The close stage is all about helping your customer to feel comfortable with a commitment. The keyword here for me is help. Just like a good friend might help you when you're making a big decision, an inbound salesperson should be seen as a friend, someone who is just trying to understand, explore, provide options, and advise on how to make the best decision possible. And to fully embrace this idea, one of those options might just be to steer them elsewhere if you're not the best fit, simply because it's the right thing to do for the long term. Traditionally, when a marketing qualified lead comes in, the marketing team essentially hands that lead to the sales team to qualify and close the sale. But when we're talking about inbound sales, we're talking about more of a parallel approach to engaging with leads as they take the next step towards becoming an actual customer. With inbound, sales does not operate in a silo. Ideally, marketing will enable sales to do their job better by providing them with the tactics, content, and experiences that they need to educate, consult, help, and close the sale. Within inbound, this is referred to as sales enablement. The job of sales in an inbound marketing-driven company isn't to create more leads. Their job is to qualify leads, engage, help, nurture, and build relationships with potential customers who have already shown interest in a product or service. Through this approach, your marketing and sales teams work as a team to nurture the customer throughout the buyer's journey, with the ultimate goal of providing value that builds trust and leads to closing the sale. And finally, part 5, delight. Traditional strategies tend to overlook this step. After the sale, marketing and sales moves on to the next sale. The deal is closed, and growth is only possible if you're closing sales, right? Well, this is true in the end, but real growth is not about just closing new sales. Real growth comes from providing exceptional customer experiences that foster loyalty and advocacy, and this won't happen if your entire team moves on to the next sale and leaves your customer high and dry. When it comes down to it, this is simply a big missed opportunity. This won't happen if you're providing traditional customer service either. It happens by ensuring that your entire team is doing everything they can to actively delight your customers. To truly delight your customers, your marketing, sales, and service functions of your business need to be aligned and working together to ensure that your customers not only get what they need, but to proactively engage them on an ongoing basis and continually strengthen a relationship that encourages repeat sales, upsells, cross-sells, and even positive reviews and referrals. When you're actively delighting your customers, the result can be revenue that truly takes your growth to the next level. This lack of attention to really ensuring that your customers are not only happy, but delighted is a key part of inbound and why it can be so powerful. Here are just a few examples of where you might be able to invest and delight your customers. Your marketing team could develop a free webinar that specifically educates current customers about the products or solutions that they might not even be aware of. Maybe it's a webinar about something new or newsworthy that you think they need to know about. Marketing could create an email drip campaign or a newsletter that educates and nurtures current customers. Marketing could even run ads that are geared to help current customers and lead them back to explore more solutions. Your sales team could proactively reach out to current customers with no agenda except to touch base and talk. Sales could follow customers on social media. This could lead to strengthening relationships if they see that you're liking and commenting on their posts. But it could also mean identifying where they have additional issues and needs that you can help with. Your sales team could even proactively share content that's targeted and personalized to each customer's unique needs. And of course, your sales team can contribute to support marketing's efforts to create webinars, video content, and even podcasts that are all shared or used to connect with and build stronger relationships with current customers. And then there's your service team. These are the people who are on the front lines, who likely create, deliver, and support your products and services. But your service team can be a critical part of inbound and revenue growth. And yes, they too can create content and experiences for new, current, or past customers. Just a few examples include manning live chat on your website, building and supporting a robust knowledge base online that supports and educates customers, and implementing software, systems, and basic discipline within a support ticket system. Just like sales, your service team can work with marketing to create the content and experiences that they need to delight customers, and there's no reason why they can't proactively reach out to customers on a regular basis as well. With the right process and tools, they can be the ones that increase the all-important reviews online and provide ways to encourage and remind happy customers to refer you to others in the future. Your service team could also be involved with creating educational videos that make their job easier, serve customers better, and save money. This is an important point. By fully embracing the concept of creating valuable content and experiences for your customers, you can save time and ultimately money that actually creates more revenue instead of always working to do it by generating more and more sales. When your marketing, sales, and service functions of your business are aligned to attract, engage, and delight customers across the entire buyer's journey, the positive result is called the flywheel effect. It's yet another metaphor that basically promises that your business has momentum, and that momentum is always increasing over time. Momentum and growth isn't ideally achieved by salespeople selling more in isolation as fast and aggressively as possible. Momentum and growth isn't ideally achieved by pushing your salespeople to just sell more. Real growth happens with inbound with less and less effort over time because everyone is aligned and rowing in the same direction because of the disciplined investment in customer-focused content and experiences across the entire buyer's journey, and because your entire team is focused on building, nurturing, and strengthening relationships from the very start and then never letting up. Conceptually, I think inbound is truly a game-changing methodology. I hope this summary has helped you to understand the core principles and how it all connects conceptually. In the spirit of inbound, I hope that you'll connect with us by subscribing to hear more about inbound in the future and how it can be a game-changing methodology that really accelerates your company's flywheel and by default returns incredible growth in the future.
This has been the Academy Podcast, where you get the tools, tips, and advice you need to grow your business. As always, thanks for listening. Please visit us at academypodcast.com to find your way to more great content. You can stay connected with us on social media or by subscribing to emails that are full of additional news, advice, downloads, webinars, and special content. The Academy is a service of Sanctuary. Visit us online at sanctuarymg.com if you need a partner to help you grow your business. If we can help you in any way, please connect with us on social media or email Chris directly at chris@sanctuarymg.com. Thanks again for listening, and I hope we'll connect again soon in the near future.